One way that can be helpful to think about narcissism, to understand someone who is really narcissistic in your life, one way to do that is to think about narcissism as weather. As weather. You do understand weather, how weather is always changing, how weather can be unpredictable, how weather can be beautiful, let's say 20 days in a row. And then on that 21st day, it can change into something very different, something that feels very different with you. Weather can be erratic. Weather can be beautiful and it can feel good and warm, and yet it can also feel cold and it can feel uncomfortable at times. So, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in this video today. I am always, as a clinical psychologist, trying to think of ways to talk about things, to describe emotional or psychological experiences in a way that actually clicks with people, that resonates with people. I don't think we need any more psychological or self help jargon. I think that what we need is to kind of dial things down to a level that's how we experience it, how it feels to us on a day to day level. In simple terms, I can understand myself just as a human being. Simple terms. When some experience happens, it is helpful for me to boil it down to the most simplest terms. As an example, did that make me feel sad? Did that make me feel mad? Did that make me feel afraid? I could also take the same situation and wrap that in really complex psychological terminology. But is that really always helpful for me, for example, as just another person living life? No, not necessarily. I think what helps is to boil things down to their roots. And so, whether the concept of thinking about somebody who's really narcissistic in your life as weather, this is what I want to talk a little bit more about. Now, what are some of the ways that someone who is narcissistic in your life can change? What are some of those ways? Well, the narcissist can change in terms of how their mood is from day to day, from moment to moment, even. The narcissist can change in terms of how much attention they have for you or how much attention they want to give you in a moment. The narcissist can change in terms of when they want to engage with you and when they don't. The narcissist can change in terms of apparently how they feel about you. That's how it can feel. So many people explain how it can feel being in relationship with a narcissist is that it can feel at times like a switch is turned on or off. One moment, it feels like the narcissist really loves you and cares about you. And in the next moment, it can feel like that door is closed. Let's just talk about one particular example. You can imagine someone who's really narcissistic in your own life, and imagine on a particular day you go to talk to them about something, and maybe you just want to share something that happened, or you want to get their opinion on something. Sometimes that individual is happy to talk with you. Sometimes they're open. They want to hear what you have to say. Maybe they'll ask you questions. Sometimes maybe they'll laugh with you and you can feel connected. And that's often what you want in moments, especially with somebody that you are in a relationship with, is you want to have moments of connection. And yet other times with someone who is really narcissistic, you can go to talk with them about the same type of situation or content. And you feel all of a sudden like you don't quite know why, but that door was closed and it was locked. They're standing right there or they're talking to you, and it's the same person. It's been the same relationship you guys have always had, but something was different that day. You don't quite know why or what, but feels like something changed. Something changed. They seem different to you. It seems, as an example, like that weather pattern had just completely changed. Now, the thing is with weather, because we have been living and understanding weather for so long, we understand, well, now it's raining. It's very simple. Or we understand when the fog clears. Okay, now it's a clear day. We understand that. The difference, one key difference is that it's very difficult when you are in close relationship with a narcissist to understand why they change in a particular moment, why the way they feel change, their mood changes, how they seem to interact with you or engage with you or close the door to you. You don't quite understand. All you know is something changed. Something changed. And you know what? In those moments for you, if you're in relationship with that person, it can feel really lonely. It can feel lonely, like you are left, speaking of weather, out in the cold in that moment. You're left in the cold, and yet your hand is out, extended to them, wanting to connect. There you are. You've made yourself available. Yesterday, it was fine when you talked to them and you connected and you felt so good about them. Why today? Why today did they change? Why today are they different? Why today? You may say to yourself, do I feel alone or out in the cold? Okay. I hope this has been helpful to kind of frame emotionally what this can feel like, okay, when you are in relationship with someone who is really narcissistic. I also have a whole section here on narcissism, understanding the narcissistic personality better so that you can find a way to have whatever type of positive relationship with that person you may be able to have, so that you don't have to take things personally, so that you can better figure out if you can maintain a close relationship with someone like this. Okay. I'm Dr. Seth, psychologist.